Hello and welcome to this video. Thank you so much for joining me, for hitting play and for taking the time to practice. For our practice today, we will focus on spatial awareness once again. And spatial awareness is valuable because it helps us to improve our coordination and our balance. So if you do have a yoga block, please have it at hand. If you don't have a block, maybe a folded blanket or something similar that can give a little bit of height. So just grab whatever you need, roll out your mat, and let's get started. Okay, coming into any easy seat. Maybe today we want to sit up on our blanket or our yoga block just to give the hips a bit of support and a bit of height, letting the legs relax and grow nice and tall in the spine. Relax your shoulders down and away from the ears and just let your hands rest just wherever it's comfortable in your lap or on your legs. Taking a moment here just to ground at the beginning of the practice, becoming present. We have taken the time to step onto our mat. So come into the space fully, allowing everything else that you still need to get to today or that you still need to do, or maybe anything that's happened, setting that outside for now. We can always gather that up again when we are ready to move into the rest of the day or take on what we need to take on. And we're going to start by just noticing the breath, moving in and out through the nostrils. You always want to encourage nose breathing. So breathing in and out through the nose. And just noticing what your breath and your body and your mind feels like today. And then perhaps starting to move into a bit more of a conscious breath here. So first we'll breathe, imagine expanding towards the belly. Don't force it, especially if it feels quite restricted. And then drawing the breath up into the lungs. So breathing up, and then as you exhale, let the shoulders and the shoulder blades relax, and imagine breathing all the way down the length of the spine to the tailbone. And then again, breathing and expanding into the belly. Drawing the breath up into the upper body, into the lungs. And then exhale, relax the shoulders, the shoulder blades, running the breath all the way down the back to the tailbone. And we'll keep going. So inhale, belly. Inhale, chest. And a long exhalation, exhaling through the nose. Breathing all the way down the back. Good. Inhale. And inhale. And exhale. And let's do another 2 rounds or so. And just completing your last round, sitting quietly for a few normal quiet breaths. And then let's open the eyes if they're not open already. And we'll start to move into our asana practice. You can take the block out underneath you if you are sitting on something. So spread your legs out in front. Make sure you've got some space between your feet. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, sitting right up on the sits bones. You can take support with your hands behind you just to allow the spine to stay nice and long and supported. And then we'll drop the toes, the big toes, in towards each other. And then point the toes down towards the floor. Circle the ankles so that the toes point out and then back up towards the ceiling. Drop the toes in and down and out and up. And then we keep going. Keep your breath nice and steady in and out through your nose. So we don't need to synchronize the breath with the movement here, but we want to stay nice and conscious of the breath continuously moving in and out. let's complete this rotation. Toes come to pointing in towards each other, and then we'll change direction. Then the toes point up, and then out, and then down to the floor, and then roll them in towards each other again. And we'll keep going. You can let the heels lift. You can let the legs and the hips move, so you don't have to restrict any movement, but really feel that movement in the ankles. And then we'll complete this last big circle, toes point in towards each other, and then back up to center. Good, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and we're going to hold onto the knees, and then start leaning back, maybe a little bit of core engagement here, and then maybe we can come up onto the toes and even lift the toes up off the floor. If at any stage you need to bring your toes down to support or relax the legs down, you can. Relax your shoulders down and away from the ears. Then we're going to hold on to one knee, stretch the other leg out, and then just point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. Good, now we'll swap, so bring the knee in, straighten the other leg, and we flex and point. Keep it just above the mat if you can, and point and flex and point, and the last one and point. Good, let's keep it going. Bring it in and we swap legs, and then point and flex. Awesome work, a last one, and then we swap, straighten out the other leg and point and flex. Maybe just feeling those upper legs and the quadriceps starting to work and engage. Good, and a last point, and then bring it in and bring the feet down. Awesome work. We're going to roll onto the floor now, so maybe scoot a little bit closer to the front edge of your mat and make sure that you've got your block or your blanket within reach. Holding onto your knees, tucking your chin, round your spine, and then you roll down with control. So let the toes go, see if you can keep some balance, releasing the spine down onto the mat. Relax your head down and then bring your feet down onto the floor. And your feet are about hip width apart, maybe even a little bit wider if that feels comfortable, but make sure that the feet are not together. We want some space between the feet. And then walk your heels in as close to your body as you can, making sure that the big toe, pinky toe center of the heels are firmly in contact with the floor, and then your arms are next to your body with the palms facing down. So let's first reconnect with our breath here. So breathing down towards the belly. Taking nice full inhales, and exhale, let the navel sink down. So when you inhale, imagine expanding towards the belly, towards the pelvic floor and the lower back. And when you exhale, the navel drops down, and maybe the lower back even flattens into the mat. So feeling that expansion in the inhalation. And when you exhale, the pelvic floor lifts, the navel drops down, and the lower back pulls into the floor. We'll do a few more breaths here. Awesome work. After your next exhalation, letting go of that breath. Good. And now we're going to inhale, tuck in the tailbone, squeeze the glutes. Push into both feet evenly to lift the pelvis up off the floor, so you'll feel the glutes working. Pushing the hands and the arms into the floor, lifting up onto the shoulders, chest to chin, and chin up to the sky. And then exhale to slowly roll the spine all the way back down with control. Good. When the spine is flat, you can relax the glutes. And then again, inhale, tuck in the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, push into the floor to lift the hips up high. Up, up, up. And exhale to slowly roll down. Good. Let's do another two more. Inhale, tuck in the tailbone, squeeze and lift. So we're strengthening the back body. Starting to open up the front. Exhaling on the down. Good. Last one. Inhale, tuck in the tailbone, squeeze and lift. And exhale to lower all the way back down. Good. Take hold of your block or your support, push into both feet evenly, and then slide the block in underneath you at its lowest level. Make sure that it's resting on the sacrum or the back of the pelvis, so there by the tailbone, not on the lower back. So it's a little bit lower than the lower back. But if at any stage you feel that this is causing pinching or compression in the lower back that feels uncomfortable and not safe, rather take the block out from underneath you and do this practice without the block. We're going to start by drawing the right knee in, hold onto the knee with both hands, and then slide the left leg out along the mat, letting the leg completely relax. And then we continue this breathing towards the navel, so expanding towards the lower half, letting the belly rise, letting the pelvic floor, the lower back, and even the stretch into the quadricep expand. And when you exhale, just letting the breath escape and the navel sink back down. We'll take a few breaths here. Just letting that leg completely relax. Your head and your shoulders soft, the neck is soft. Okay, good. Let's swap. So bring that the left leg in again. Place your right foot back down on the floor. Bring the left knee in, holding onto the left knee now. Slide the right leg out along the mat. Just let the leg relax and go heavy. The heel maybe resting on the floor. If it is hovering in the air, that's fine, as long as it's not causing uncomfortable sensations or pain. And we take those steady breaths. Really feeling that expansion on the inhale towards the lower half of the body, reaching down towards the hip flexor and the right quadricep, the front of the thigh. Good, let's release that. So after your next exhalation, you can rebend the right leg, place it on the floor, and bring your left foot back down onto the mat. So just checking in with your back and that everything is still feeling quite comfortable. If you need to make an adjustment, you can do that now. And we're going to move on to sort of a crossover between the left and the right side of the body. So we want to, so the pelvis is lifted, and there's maybe a slight tilt in the pelvis, and this will ask a little bit more from the hip flexor to engage and lift the knee up. If you feel that you are working from your lower back and it's causing strain in the lower back, again, rather remove the block and do this practice without the block, just with your back flat on the floor. So we're going to start by reaching the right arm up and overhead, and then inhale. And then when you exhale, lifting the left knee, so keeping the knee bent, lifting the left foot, bringing it in, and then meeting the hand and the knee at your center. And then create a little bit of resistance by pushing the knee into the hand, really using that exhalation and feeling the lower abdominals engage. And then once you've completed your exhalation, put the left foot down and then inhale, reaching the right arm up and overhead. Good. Keep going. So exhale, lift the knee. Bring the hand down, meet in your center, pushing the hand into the knee and squeeze. Completing the exhalation, put the foot down and inhale. Reach the arm up and overhead, and we'll do 3 more. So exhale, meeting at your center, pushing the hand into the knee. Put the foot down and inhale. And exhale. Using that exhalation to meet, create that resistance. Once you can't exhale anymore, put the foot down and then inhale. Reach the arm up and exhale. Meeting at your center, create resistance, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Foot goes down and inhale. And then the last one, exhale. Create that resistance and squeeze. And put the foot down and inhale. And then bring the right hand next to you. and we'll swap sides. So doing the other side, left arm reaches up and overhead. We start with an inhale. And then exhale, lifting the right knee up, keep the knee bent and the foot is relaxed. Hand meets the knee at the center and then squeeze the knee into the hand and resist. Place the foot down and inhale, reach the left arm up and overhead. And exhale to meet at your center, squeeze, 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 nice long full exhalation. Put the foot down, inhale, reach it up. And exhale. Meet and squeeze, resist, feel those deep core muscles working. Place the foot down and inhale. And exhale. Crossing over the midline, squeeze and hug into your center. Place the foot down, inhale. And exhale to me. And squeeze, 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 squeeze. A little bit longer, a little bit stronger. Maybe feeling some heat. Place the foot down, inhale. And let's do a last one, exhale. Meet at your center, hug it in and squeeze and resist. And then place the foot down and inhale. Reach it up. Good, bring the arm down next to you. Push into both feet evenly. Slide the block out from underneath you. Gently lower down and then hug your knees in towards you. And then find the movement here that feels good. So either having the knees tucked right in close or maybe lower down, gently rocking. You can make it small, you can make it nice and big and dramatic. So letting your body move mindfully through space here. Okay, good. Let's come back to center. You can place your feet back down on the floor and then we're going to place the right ankle on top of the left knee, so sitting up for a reclining pigeon. If you feel that this is already enough for the right hip, then this is where you can stay. This is a good place to be. If you do want to take it further, lift the left foot up off the floor, so we bring the left knee in, pushing the right leg closer towards us. You can either take hold of the right foot and the knee and very gently draw that leg in towards your body, or you can thread the needle through, so taking hold behind the left knee, or maybe even wrapping the arms all the way around to the left shin, making sure that the tailbone is lengthening down towards the mat. Your facial muscles, your neck and your shoulders are nice and relaxed. We want to feel a stretch on the outside of the right hip. Let the feet relax. Sometimes it feels nice to gently rock from side to side if you want to give that a try. If you don't like the movement and you rather want to stay static, then that's absolutely fine. And then once you feel that you've got a space where you can hold it, then breathe towards the belly. So really being focused today on that breath, breathing down towards the navel. Nice full expansive inhales and long exhalations. Okay, good work. We're gently going to release. So after your next exhalation, you can release wherever you are holding on. Bring the left foot back down onto the floor if it's not there already. And then uncross the right leg, and then we'll swap to the other side. So left ankle onto the right knee now. So this side may feel completely different, so do what's right for this side. We don't have to do the same on both sides. So either staying here or lifting the right foot to bring the left leg closer, holding onto the foot and the knee, or threading the needle through, holding on behind the right knee, or wrapping all the way around to the shin. So again, relaxing the shoulders, letting the tailbone lengthen down towards the mat. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side on this side. And those nice conscious deep breaths in and out through the nose, drawing the breath towards the belly, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, and regulating the heart and the heartbeat. Last few breaths. And on our next exhalation, we'll release, holding or releasing wherever you are holding on, bringing the right foot down and crossing the right leg. Awesome work. Bring both knees in towards you, tucking your chin, and then we're going to start rolling up and down the length of the spine. If this is uncomfortable, only do it once or so to rock yourself up to seated. Otherwise, we'll keep going a few times, rocking and rolling. And then on your next one or two, see if you can rock yourself all the way up to seated. Good, and then we're going to come into our tabletop from here. So coming onto the hands and knees. Bring your hands nice and wide, spread your fingers, bring your knees maybe a little bit wider, and then we can play around here with movement. So you can either have the toes flat, or if you want to curl the toes under, shifting forwards and backwards between the heels and the shoulders, maybe moving to a bit of an arch and the tilt of the pelvis and the cat stretch, so rounding the spine, dropping the navel to arch. If you prefer to stay static, that's also a good option, but just really feeling into what your body is asking for. So maybe even a little bit of a side stretch, maybe a child's pose if you want to push the buttocks back towards the heels and extend the arms forward. So really just checking in, allowing your body to take up the space that it needs and fully being present on your mat. Awesome work. We'll spend the last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We'll meet here at center. Walk your knees in a bit closer. Curl your toes under. Bring your hands next to your knees. Push into your hands to push your knees up off the floor. Then lift your hips up high. And we come into a standing forward fold. Keeping the knees nice and soft. Let the crown of the head drop down towards the floor. If there is a lot of pressure in your head, maybe you've got a bit of sinus, see if it helps to keep the chin lifted. If it's not comfortable at all today, rather come to standing a bit sooner. And then a gentle sway from side to side. You can even add a little bit of a bounce up and down, just weighing the upper body down towards the floor. Let gravity do the work. And keep your breath going in and out through your nose. And we'll come back to center. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, side out, let it go. And another one, inhale. And let it go. Awesome work. Bend your knees generously, push strong into your feet, start to roll up through the spine. Stacking the vertebrae, grow long in the spine, roll your shoulders back and your head comes up last. Good. Okay, we'll come into our stagger stance again from here. So stepping your dominant leg to the back first and your other leg is on the front. So my right leg is dominant, so that's at the back, and my left leg is in front. And again, just checking the feet don't have to be in line. So this is where we start. Let your arms hang. Notice what this feels like. If you feel that you would like to make it a bit more challenging, then you can step the back leg in line with the front, as if you are standing on a tightrope, but we want to make sure that you are standing comfortably and the back heel is firmly in contact with the floor. So big toes, pinky toes, and heels of both feet are in contact with the floor. Let your arms hang. Steady gaze in front of you. Check where your weight is. Are you leaning more into the back leg? Are you leaning more forward into the front leg? And can you distribute the weight between both feet evenly so that your weight is in the center? Then from here, we're going to start turning the head side to side. So looking over one shoulder and then the other. And if you feel that this is easy and you would like to make it a little bit more challenging, you can close your eyes. See how that changes. Challenging the balance even more. You can really feel the ankles and the legs working. Strengthening the stabilizing muscles and working on that coordination. Where is my body? Where is my weight? Can I stay steady? Can I not fall over? And if you do fall over, that's fine. We come back and we practice it again another time, if not today. Good, and last 3, 2, 1. Bring your head back to center, step your feet together, give the legs a bit of a shake. Okay, and then we do the other side. So make sure that you've got the other leg in front now. So my right leg is in front and my left leg is at the back. First starting with the feet not in line. Notice what this feels like. And then maybe on this side, if you want to try and step the back leg in line with the front, as if you are standing on a tightrope. Big toes, pinky toes, center of the heels, firmly in contact with the floor. It doesn't have to be a very big step. Okay. Let your arms hang and your shoulders relax. What does it feel like on this side? Where's my weight? Front leg or back leg? Can I distribute the weight evenly so that I rest in the middle? And when you feel steady enough, you'll add the turn of the head, looking side to side, over each shoulder. And that's often where the biggest challenge lies, is when we add movement from one side to the next. Maybe on this side you want to try closing the eyes. Keep going. The last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center, step the feet together and relax. Good. We're going to move into what's called a square step. I think of it as square dancing. So standing with both feet together, can maybe stand more towards the left side of your mat to give yourself a little bit of space. Arms can either hang next to you or you can place your hands on your hip. If balance is a challenge, you can reach the arms out to the side to steady yourself. And then we're going to step with the right leg to the right and then step the feet together. Step with your right leg to the back, just one step back, and then step the feet together. Now with the left leg to the left, feet come together, left leg steps first to the front, and then feet come together. And we'll keep going. So step out with the right, keep your gaze steady in front of you, try not to look at your feet. Step back with your right, then step to the left with your left leg, and then to the front with your left leg leading. Let's do one more. Stepping out with the right leg, stepping back with the right, step to the side with the left, and then step to the front with the left. Good. We're going to reverse it. So stepping back with the left leg first now, and then step to the right with your right leg, step to the front with your right, and then step to the left with your left leg. Good. We'll keep going. Left leg goes back, right leg goes out to the side, right leg goes to the front. Each time stepping the feet together, left leg out, left leg back, whoa, left leg out to the side, and right to the front. And then last one, left out, and step the feet together. Good work. We'll come into a stance with our legs completely crossed. So crossing your right leg behind your left. Can make the stance nice and wide. Spread the toes and the heels are grounded. If you feel that this is a lot and you feel that you are wanting to fall over, rather keep the feet then next to each other, but see if you can bring the feet together. Then from here, reaching and circling the arms up and overhead, bring your palms together and then exhale to slowly melt down into a forward fold. Letting your arms hang. Feel the stretch down the backs of the legs. If you want to, you can add a gentle sway, maybe a gentle bounce, just being very mindful of how this changes the stretch and if it feels okay in your body, especially because the legs are straight. Okay, so then coming back to center, we're going to engage the glutes, push strong into the feet, let your arms hang and then roll up. Coming all the way back up to standing. Bring the head up and then release and we swap sides. So now crossing the right leg over the left. Again, making the stance nice and wide with your feet, making sure that the toes and the heels are grounded. Maybe on this side, you want to rather stand with your feet right next to each other. Find that steady spot in front of you, circle the arms up, palms together, and exhale to melt down into your forward fold. Did this side feel a bit different to the other side? Let your arms hang. Maybe on this side adding a gentle sway, or maybe even a slight bounce up and down, side to side. Being mindful of your breath. Good, let's come back to center. Push strongly to the feet, activate the glutes to start to roll up. Using your legs, lifting the upper body, straighten out, and then release. Good, now we stand with our feet together. Circle the arms up again, palms together. Exhale, release down into a forward fold. Inhale to straighten the spine, your version, so you can bring the hands either onto the legs or keep them in contact with the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, bring your hands onto the floor, and then from here, lower the hips down and just make your way to seated. We'll meet each other here with our legs straight out in front. And then we're going to bend our right leg, place the right foot on the inside of the knee, and then hop it over towards the left. Hugging that knee in with both your hands, so wrapping the arms around the knees, around the knee. Gently pull that leg in towards you, lengthen the spine. Maybe even adding a little bit of a rock, stretching into the side of the right leg, so from the hip to the knee. Okay, and then from here we're going to add a twist. So you can bring your right hand behind you, and then see if you can even walk the fingertips over towards the left side of your mat. The front arm can either just hug the knee in, or if it is available, you can hook the elbow on the outside of the knee. Find some length as you inhale, and then exhale, gently twist, looking over the back shoulder, pulling the right shoulder back. And see if you can keep your breath moving in towards the lower half of the body. So breathing towards the belly, using the expansion of the breath to create space, and softening on the exhalations. Good, one more deep inhale. Exhale, tuck in your chin, roll your head forward. We can turn your body forward and cross that right leg and straighten out. Other side, so placing the left foot on the inside of the knee, then hop it over. First we just hug that knee in, maybe a little bit of a rock if that helps to feel more sensation on the outside of this left leg, so from the glute. So this is what we call the IT band. It starts here on the outside of the hip and runs down the side of the leg towards the knee. Sometimes it can pull on the knee when it's tight. So just letting that release. Okay, and then from here we'll add the twist. So bring your left hand behind you and then keep walking the fingers and see if you can walk it towards the right edge of your mat. Front arm either hugs in, or you can hook the elbow on the outside of the knee. Find length as you inhale. And then exhale to twist, look over the back shoulder and really mindfully bring that left shoulder back. So as if you're squeezing that left shoulder blade towards the center of your spine. Breathe towards the belly. Good work. We'll take one more deep inhale together. Tuck in your chin. As you exhale, roll your head forward. Release the twist, turning your body forward. Uncross the leg and straighten out. We'll meet again at an easy seat. So sitting in any way that's comfortable for you. Again, the option to raise your seat on a block or a blanket. We've come to the end of our practice. What does it feel like to be back here in your seat? Let your hands and your arms relax. Let the spine grow long, maybe even closing the eyes this time. And what does your breath feel like? Do you feel any physical sensations or changes in your body? Do you feel any changes in your mental or emotional state? Remember, yoga is there to create awareness, mindfulness and non-attachment. So we're not judging, we are noticing our experience. It doesn't have to be big and bold and dramatic. It's observance. And then we'll take a few of those deep breaths again that we started the practice with. So breathing into the belly, pull the breath up into the lungs, and then exhale, relaxing the shoulders down and breathing down the length of the spine. Breathe belly and chest, and exhale. And we'll do a few more, so just using the length of your breath. And as you keep breathing, maybe noticing if now the breath feels a little bit more steady, maybe a bit more accessible. And let's do a last one, so finishing up the round that you are on. Ending on that nice, long, slow exhalation. Coming back to your normal breath. If you do feel that you need it, you are welcome to recline and take a few minutes in Shavasana. Otherwise, we can round off our practice by bringing our hands to our heart center, dropping our nose to our fingertips as we take a reverent bow in gratitude for our practice and for our bodies and for everything that it does. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.